In this video we're looking at composite shapes. Composite shapes are plane shapes that are made up of more than one common type of shape, and it could be a case where we add a couple of shapes together or we subtract one smaller shape from a bigger shape. For example, we have two shapes here. Shape number one. Okay, there's two ways of looking at this shape. Let's look at it as one shape plus another shape. So if we observe here that if we put a little dotted line straight down, we have 1, 2 rectangles. We need to find two things in this question. We need to find the perimeter, and we need to find the area. So remember, the perimeter is the sum of the sides, and let's see what we can deduce from here. If we have the distance around from here, I'll put it in red, from here around here right back to the start, that will be the perimeter we're chasing. So the sum of the sides, we can see we've got 12 plus 11 plus 3 plus 2 plus, going up here we're not sure what that is yet, and along here we don't know what that is, but we can work it out quite easily. If we have this down this side here, should equal the distance up that side there. If it's 12 and then 3 coming up here, the rest of it should be 9. Across the top we have 11 all the way along there. There's 2 back that way, so the rest is 9 meters that way. So the sum of the sides will equal, going from the top left right around, 12 plus 11 plus 3 plus 2 plus 9 up plus 9 across. And we're going to get an answer in meters. So let's add it together. 12 and 11 is 23, 23, 26, 28, 37, 46 meters. If we're looking for the area of that same shape, we have, again, as I said, 2 rectangles. So let's call that area 1 for little sub 1, and area 2 with an A subscript 2. Area of a rectangle in both cases is length by width. In number 1 we have length by width, which is 12 multiplied by, now we found out that 9 before, so that's 12 multiplied by 9, plus the second one is 3 up and 2 across, so that's 3 multiplied by 2. That equals 12 times 9 is 108, plus 3 by 2 is 6, it's 114. Now remember, area is meters squared, we have squared units. For the second question, which I'll write over to the right, we have a couple of ways of looking at this. This is a triangle on the top, shape 1, and then we have, it's not very well drawn, but we have a semicircle with half missing, or 1/4 of a circle, I suppose is a more sensible way of writing it. So we could look at this as one shape minus another shape, or one shape plus. You could say it's a quarter circle or a quadrant plus a triangle, or you could say it's a semicircle minus half of that semicircle. It doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to show you a different way of looking at this one. So remember, on the first shape we added, I'm going to show you on this one with the idea of subtracting areas. But first we've got to find the perimeter. Perimeter is the sum of the sides. The formula is written down over here. Now the perimeter is along here. I'll trace it out in red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Notice how that double line, that double dashes, means that both of these slant heights of the triangle are 20 meters. Along here is 10. We can see that the even though it's not drawn very well, this semicircle at the bottom has a diameter of, or radius of, 10 meters. So if we look at from the top right around to back to the top again, alright, we're going to go sort of like going clockwise, I suppose. We have 20 plus 10. Now that one is also a radius, so it's also 10. That's that line going down there. Now we've got that circumference part we saw in the previous video. I'm just going to leave a gap for that bit. And then we've got that last 20 going back up. So we've got a gap there we've got to fill in. Now remember, we saw in the previous video that, if we put it down here, a bit of thinking space, in the previous video we had the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. We have a quarter of 2 pi r. So that's 2 pi r over 4, which comes out as pi r over 2. So that's what we've got to put in here, where r is 10 in this case. Okay, so r is 10, so we have pi times 10 over 2. So we got, if we add all of these bits here together, 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus this 20 over here, that's 60. Simplifying. Pi times 10 over 2. 10 over 2 is 5, so that's 60 plus 5 pi. If you want a decimal approximation of that, we can use our calculator. But 60 plus 5 pi is the what we would call the exact answer. So 60 plus 5, I think there might have been an error there, try again. 60 plus 5, and the pi is down here, equals 63.14 if we round. 63.14. 63.14 meters. Okay, last part is if we have to find the area of that same shape. I'm just going to put a little organizer here just to, so we don't get our previous working in the way. And here we go, we've got area 1, area 2, which is a semicircle, minus half of that semicircle, 3. This might not be your preferred way of doing it. You might want to add area of this triangle plus a quarter circle. I'm just going to show you something different. Area equals, total area equals area 1 plus area 2 minus area 3. Again, this is not the only way of doing this one. Area 1 is an equilateral triangle. We have base times perpendicular height. The perpendicular height I've worked out for you, and that should be given at this stage in the course. It's 17.32 meters. So we've got area 1 being a triangle, we have base times perpendicular height. So let's do that part. So we go half times base times perpendicular height. Area 2 is a semicircle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. This is pi r squared over 2. Now we're minusing a quarter of a circle, which is pi r squared over 4. It's a quarter of a circle. So we have here half times the base of that triangle, which is 20, times the height, which is 17.32, plus pi times 10 squared, because 10 is the radius, over 2 minus pi times 10 squared over 4. Try not, oops, over 4, pardon me, that's squared over 4. Write the 4 in the wrong place. So, just giving myself some more room here, so I've gotten a bit squished up. Do it in chunks, so half times 20 is 10. 10 times 17.32 is 173.2. Pi times 10 squared. 10 squared is 100, so you've got 100 pi over 2. 100 over 2 is 50, so we've got 50 times pi. Minus, again, 10 squared is 100. 100 on 4 is 25. 25 pi. Notice that mental math helps a lot, doesn't it? Otherwise we'd be using a calculator quite a lot. 173.2, 50 groups of pi minus 25 groups of pi. See that? Is 25 groups of pi. And now if you want an exact answer, or sorry, a decimal approximation as opposed to an exact answer, we go 173.2 plus 25 pi. So 173.2 plus 25 times pi equals 251.74. So 251.74. So 251.74 meters squared.